was wearing the same clothes. I bet he was a bit superstitious as his first game. And I would be doing the same. He's looking to do exactly the same. And they'll start off just getting that ball forward, trying to put Arsenal on the back foot. And look at the pitch map as well. We all know that now United are playing that 4-2-3-1 formation. At the moment, they're keeping it very tight and want to play in Arsenal's half of the pitch.
Of course, that wasn't mentioned. They are back to a back four. No longer Ruben Amorim in charge. Martinez quickly, a quick turn and straight away looking for a boomer.
I think that's really important. It's easy, Lisandro Martinez could easily have gone back to his goalkeeper, but a really clever turn and putting it in the box and just putting Gabriel under pressure. I'm sure that's for the first time, the first minute of the game, that Gabriel's had to win a header in his own box.
As you were saying, Leroy, before this game, as in go back a few weeks, and Manchester United probably weren't looking forward to this sort of fixture, but Michael Carrick said they've had a really good week. He's really excited to try and take on the best team in the division right now.
Yeah, I'm sure they are, and they needed that, otherwise they would have come here a little bit nervous. I spoke to a lot of United fans and they really are looking forward to this game. And you're looking at the historical data at the bottom of your picture and you see how far they are behind they are. Total distance in terms of intensity, total distance 61.5 to United compared to 63.6, but that certainly wasn't the case. I think they were as good as Arsenal last week and they need to do that again.
The most pressures they have in any Premier League match against Manchester City, 584. Only gave up the one chance against the Citizens. Might be a little tougher today to keep Arsenal quiet with their attacking talent. And you can say the same thing about Pep Guardiola's side.
Yeah, you look at that attacking one, total attacking one was 24 to Arsenal compared to 18. Attacking success rate up at close to 16%. And United's at 14%. More touches, much more touches, 152.7 touches in the final third. United's 130. So look, let's be honest, United at this moment are way behind Arsenal in terms of the stats, but they are now starting to build under Michael Carrick. We'll see where they end up.
There is Saliba for Arsenal in the high press. Man on man, as it's more recently been called. Jesus on side here. Sandro Martinez getting across quickly to him anyway, not taking any chances, but offside flag did go up.
Yeah, just went a little bit early. Maybe the touch, I think, from Trossard meant that he was offside, but really brave from United playing around the halfway line. Now, you said man for man, but they always went against Man City +1 at the back. They were kind of 2v1 against Haaland, and they're doing the same against Gabriel Jesus tonight.
It's a really good interview that Mikel Arteta did with one of the broadcasters prior to this game, where he talked about 2 years ago, any sort of preparation for any sort of game would have been in the bin now. Football is evolving so quickly, and of course they have played at the highest formation, and they are played most regularly against that low block more often than not, having to break it down. It might be a little different this afternoon though.
Yeah, certainly might be. And they're running in possession. This is a key now, Odegaard in transition. Can he get it? Yeah, great pass.
Coming back in the team today, he finds Trossard. Anti-forward here for the Gunners.
Yeah, this way, Arsenal try to go from side to side, try to put it in early. You see he's given a width on this side. He's, at the moment, you see Timber's position is quite a defensive one. Usually he's gone into that front line, and it's exactly given the width on this right-hand side. So he's aware of that counter attack, that's why he's staying in that position.
There's Rice, who's got 9 goal involvements this season. Scored a brace against Bournemouth. That was the last game in the Premier League that Arsenal scored goals in. There's 2 games finishing 0-0. We'll draw away at Forest, and prior to that one, the last one here was against Liverpool, and that was 0-0 too, but they've won 7 in a row in the Champions League.
Yeah, they're flying in the Champions League as well. And, this is the one I think that matters most to Arsenal. This is one they want to take away from him. He's been there 6 years, and it's almost a demand that they win it this year. He's dealt with the pressure very, very well, as is his team, and that's why they're 4 points clear, or 5 points clear, as it stands at the Premier League.
Arteta does have an incredible record against Manchester United. In Premier League meetings, he's got a 67% win percentage, which is better than any other manager against Manchester United in Premier League history.
Casemiro, lovely progressive pass, really well executed. And Diallo's playing wide, giving width. Might have thought that Timber might have been over there, but Nkapio comes in, he's done very well with his space centre half or left back, and that'll be a really good duel, a really good battle out there on that United's right-hand side.
It was a race to be fit between Piero Hincapié and Riccardo Calafiori. Calafiori not making the bench, but he was back in training this week. It's been a little longer though than Hincapié, so maybe an understandable decision from Arteta.
Look at the historical data again, Pete. Look at that runs into the box. That was because Arsenal are playing that final third a lot more than United, have done this season. 36, around 36 in comparison to United's 30. Final third accuracy again is that United is just down below that of Arsenal's. I don't think that will worry him today. I think he'll be happy in this shape. You see it from the pitch map. We're in a 4-4-2 formation defensively. Bruno Fernandes up it with Mbeumo. So when they do win the ball, they're people they can hit and cause Arsenal problems from their point of view.
Actually, maybe not playing the low block, but so far sat very deep. 11 men almost in the final third. He's Arsenal working over to Saka. He's without a goal in his last 12 in all competitions. His longest goal drought. Tries to feed Timber and is just seen out. Manchester United will have a goal kick.
Yeah, that's the position I was talking about with Timber. This time he did get full, just slightly overhit from Bukayo Saka, but well trapped by United. They just wondered if they are going to try and play out at the back. Mbeumo's not the biggest centre forward, so he needs to get his quality into him.
Talking of Saka, he mentioned his 12-game goal drought. I was quick to say he's done so much more though for them. So, had a number of assists in the Premier League, 5 in total this season, and so he isn't too worried about the goal drought thing, and the media probably speak about it more than he would be concerned with.
Since Lorenz has come in, United have gone to playing the longer ball, and that's made his introduction at the time a lot easier, put less pressure on him.
Here's Trossard trying to skip away from Dalot. Getting back well, but Rice urged to shoot, hits Maguire. Wasn't the most powerful of shots, one of those daisy cutters.
I think that's a really 64 miles per hour, but a really good position in between the lines for Declan Rice.
Daisy cutters, daisy rollers, you might say. Here's Rice. Again for Zubamendi, who started every game in the Premier League for Arsenal. He's fit like a glove since joining from Real Sociedad. Gabriel. Rest in midweek.
On the front foot, and you can see their eager to try and get some of their key men running at that United back line.
Himself, it was blocked away by Henry Mary.
Yeah, good ball there for Bukayo Saka actually, because that ball skipped off the surface pretty lively. Good ball to keep it in.
Saka gets Dorey this time. That's for Bukayo Saka. Corner of the drag.
Right work. Like that when wide players head for that byline. That's the danger zone. When you get there, that's when forwards' eyes light up and defenders know they're in a little bit of bother. Bukayo Saka often, of course, will come in on his left foot. But I love the way he mixes it up and will go that way with him to get on his right foot.
Saka is direct like that, when he's brave like that, he can be unstoppable. Now, set pieces are always likely to play a big part in the outcome of this game. By Saka. Never looked comfortable over it.
Yeah, again, just come up around his midriff a little too much, didn't it, for Leandro Trossard to get over it. Might have been better served letting that go. Effective nice, fancied his chances, but well, we're approaching 10 minutes. Decent start from Arsenal without giving Netherlands too much to consider yet, but they've signalled their intent. They're on the front foot, they're up on the halfway line, they've got the ball at their feet.
Between scoring and assists, Leandro Trossard has been involved in more Premier League goals this season than any other Arsenal player. This is their first shot in anger today. It's Kobe Mena who ran his sacks up, but he's faulted immediately there. Saka eludes Dorgu, takes out Gabriel Jesus. Now Nkapie. Trossard. To take on second corner again. Last time these sides met at Old Trafford in August, Arsenal's winning goal came from a corner, scored by Calafiori. Behind Dio's goal that day, he was very much bullied on the goal line.
See the United boys looking at those ruck of Arsenal players at the back post. Not even bothered about focusing on the ball. A lot of them facing the wrong way.
Goes from Declan Rice, spotting the nose, marking Saka. Just took him a little fraction too long to take the ball down there, Bukayo Saka. But between Trossard last time and Saka there, that's twice that Arsenal put players unmarked at the edge of the penalty area for the corner. This is Odegaard. Blocked by Casemiro. Now Mainu. Is this fair? Manchester United can pounce. Needed much more to pick out that goal. Casemiro.
With a powerful surge from Leandro Trossard. Brave to keep it there, all of a sudden very quickly surrounded. Casemiro, a little unlucky maybe. Slid in and just got a bit of everything. I think for United, in this spell, first things foremost, stay in the game. Stay as narrow and as compact as you possibly can. Certainly Amad Diogo Dalot down that right side of got it out to Trossard quickly. Luke Shaw, get tight to Bukayo Saka. Don't allow him to run and head for that byline and start standing some crosses up. So you have to win all those little personal battles, and then maybe Casemiro, Kobe Mino got to start getting on the ball, retaining a bit of possession for their team.
We spoke about the early authority that Manchester United stamped against City last weekend. I mean, long way to go here, but 13 minutes in, look at this. Arsenal compared to Manchester United, not a single completed pass inside the final third. Martinez. Odegaard in pursuit. Dorgu.
Well played.
Harry Maguire, who hit the crossbar against Manchester City last weekend, a header from the corner. Of his English league career. Martinez. Pressure from Saliba, pressure returns position to Robinson through to Declan Rice. This has got danger in all over it. Saliba continued his run. Martinez. Timbers foul. Relieves a bit of pressure for the visitors.
Just saw there, Bruno Fernandes, a bit of heat in and around him, gives the ball away. Arsenal very quickly, flying right through the middle of the field. Lovely run from Saliba. And he could have had a touch and perhaps see what else that was happening there. just fire it across the 6-yard box. In the end, Lisandro does well to kind of sense he was going to cut it back and put his body running away.
Shrill boos and cheers from Arsenal fans who want Manchester United to get on with it a bit quicker with the restart here. So Roberts takes his time. Timber. Minu, strong against Odegaard. Solved by Rice. Saka. Crunching into Nkapie. I think the referee acknowledged that probably was a foul, but he's happy for play to continue because Arsenal still have possession.
Keep the game going. And Arsenal have the ball in good areas. Let them get on with it.
Timber to Saka. Odegaard. There's a crispness to Arsenal's passing. Saliba. Rice gets it back from Zubimendi. Jesus must be delighted to be back in the starting team of the Premier League. All up for trophy. Now this is the difference between last weekend against City. Arsenal are not allowing Manchester United to throw into the space and Santos foul, and that's a free kick in a dangerous position.
Yeah, Patrick Dorby there, doing his bit for the team in winning possession, but had nowhere to go. And as he's backtracking, he just clips the heels there of Bukayo Saka. To concede that free kick. Difficult that when you come away from home ground like this against a team like this. One thing's not having the ball, then when you get it you look up and there's not a lot to hit, so you just try and travel with it, keep it and see if the team can get a little bit up further up the park. But so far every time Arsenal have lost it they've got it back pretty quickly.
The last 5 goals that Arsenal have scored against Manchester United in the Premier League, 4 of the 5 have come from set pieces. This is Arsenal's first attacking free kick of the day. To watch the flight of it to deny Zubimendi.
Yeah, terrific save. Because I tell you, he's very close in there. Great leap from Zubimendi, not the biggest guy. I think it's that who's climbing. I bet you probably who's climbing above. Thankfully, Lemons, the ball comes towards it, but he still does very well to get his hands up and tip that over the bar. Good chance that.
Zubimendi, who scored against Chelsea in the EFL Cup semi-final a week and a half ago. Scored against Villa a few weekends back. Here comes Saka's delivery from the corner. Attempts to flick it on by Gabriel Jesus. Declan Rice got there just ahead of the man and really ate up the ground, ball it down the play before Declan Rice brought it back in again.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise you, does it, when you see Arsenal 72% of it so far, because that's how it feels. That's the attempts, nothing yet really significant for United. But, look, 20 minutes in, I'm sure Michael Carrick again would have expected what's happened so far. Arsenal to have the lion's share of it, but his team still haven't gone under, haven't conceded, which is important.
Carrick's first Premier League win as a caretaker manager of Manchester United was against Arsenal, of course. It was just over 4 years ago at Old Trafford. Today looking to repeat the trick here at Arsenal's home at the Emirates. Trossard cuts back on Mbeumo. Where's he going here? Leandro Trossard. So it's a long shot. Good position. Working really well. Odegaard. Saka. Declan Rice is at the back post. Saka goes to the shot. So he agrees to accept the ball.
That's a good play from Luke Shaw, that. 1v1 with Bukayo Saka, he got tight without selling himself and without being easily outmanoeuvred. Stayed on his feet and eventually got the blocking job done.
Fourth quarter in 20 minutes for Arsenal. History tells us you don't want to give them too many of these. Standing right on the penalty spot. Sandro Martinez is going to give it a test. As Gabriella was close, but it is a Manchester United goal kick. Gabriella scored against Manchester United last season in the FA Cup game here at the Emirates.
Casemiro doing his job there at that near post, making sure that jumps high. He didn't get any contact, but he just did enough to pull Gabriel off.
Manchester United have barely got into Arsenal's half in possession in the opening quarter of this match. This is Harry Maguire. Manchester United yet to touch the ball inside the Arsenal penalty area. Just to put that in context, Arsenal with 9 touches of the ball in the penalty area down the other end.
Yeah, I think United just trying to have a little considered spell with the ball at their feet, wherever it is. I think the next phase, of course, the next step is that they've got to start testing Arsenal a bit more higher up the field. That's better, but better little spell of possession here. Nice switch.
Sprayed by Casemiro to Ahmad. Casemiro. Dallo. That's clever. Casemiro. We've got this in close proximity. Here's Lisandro Martinez. It's worth a punt. The Argentinian defender who scored against Arsenal 3 seasons ago. Bruno Fernandes wins it back. Referee says play on. No clean sight to goal for Casemiro. And now Gabriel Jesus comes on the charge. And that's stolen it off him.
Great work. Excellent play that from a man.
Casemiro was down. Back up on his feet.
He wanted the free kick there, Casemiro, didn't he, on the edge of the box. Craig Pawson having nothing of it. I think United, just even that last little passage of play, just showing that when they pop it about, a bit of one touch, and then with a nice big switch, they can get a 2-on-1 themselves in good areas.
Bruno Fernandes too far in front of Brian in Ulo. Timber to Saka. Again by Casemiro, down he goes, fouled by the Dutchman. Casemiro, who's announced this week that he will be leaving Manchester United at the end of the campaign, fully promising to give it his all between now and then. Score in their last league game, the 0-0 draw at Nottingham Forest. And they didn't score in the league game before that either. The scores draw with Liverpool. There was no shyness in front of goal in recent cup games. So far, 3 goals against Inter in Milan on Tuesday. They scored 3 against Chelsea in the FA Cup. They scored 4 times against Portsmouth in the FA Cup. All the Arsenal fans inside the stadium right now, very much looking for a Premier League goal to celebrate. Saliba to Gabriel. the overlap. It's infield to Declan Rice.
He had a chance there to swing that one in the box. I think if it's Lisandro Martinez up against Gabriel Jesus, put it in there. You know, the United centre-half's got a good lead on him, but he's far from a giant. If Harry Maguire gets dragged out of that box, then maybe that's the time for Arsenal to maybe deliver something.
Sure, Victor Gyökeres on the bench would have had a little wry smile at that moment. He's been seeking that sort of early service on a more regular basis and hasn't quite received it. Gabriel Jesus, he spearheaded the Arsenal attack from the start today, hoping that he will get the service to show what he can do. Gabriel Jesus, who's only ever scored one goal against Manchester United in his career. Says that's okay. Mad. Leandro Trossard is the Arsenal player slowly getting back to his feet. This is Dello. Bumo. Casemiro takes out Casemiro. And Bruno Fernandes to Dorgu.
Tidy stuff from Manchester United. Can they just get somebody on the half turn in behind Declan Rice or Zubimendi to start running at Gabriel and see if we give them a decision to make.
Bruno Fernandes sends it just behind the winning ball here. Declan Rice seized his opportunity. Closest to a goal in this game so far. Pressing right. Looks like Arsenal wanting to lay a trap here, urging Manchester United to come towards them, but Carrick has clearly instructed his team not to fall into that trap. This is Odegaard.
Well, good shape United so far. For suiting, I think the personnel much better. These tight games, Colin, it just takes one player just to knock off for a split second, just to lose your concentration. Let your man pinch a yard on you, and you can quickly find yourself conceding a goal. So, I said half an hour in nearly. United have certainly worked really hard, they must keep that going.
There is Capier, this time he does deliver. Dorgu is covering Saka, it's not the best header. Saka, Odegaard!
This is Lisandro Martinez, he's trying to pin him. Looks like he's hanging on to Jurrien Timber, and then it's a combination of a bit of a miss kick from Lisandro Martinez, and then might even come off Timber right at the end. Yeah, tough to see. Listen, that doesn't matter. What we do know is also get in front and have the lead. After all that pressure, they finally managed to make it play.
This is now the 25th time this season that Arsenal scored first in a game in all competitions. Anytime they've scored first so far, they have always gone on to win the match. Big moments. Some will feel it is a reward for their bright start. Timber has been making that sort of run into the penalty area with frequency all season, and now Arsenal looking to build. What about this? Fernandes to Brian Mbeumo. Saliba trying desperately to get back. Bruno Fernandes. Manchester City last weekend, but they couldn't get the clinch all the way early.
I think Mbeumo's got to hit it. He's hoping maybe that somebody else, when he chops back, might be in a slightly better position. Bruno Fernandes is trying to make the ground up, but he can't get there, and the shot is a poor one. But it was a fast counter that from United. I think they're going to take the shot, take the chance on his left side. He can really hit him.
Well, if Manchester United are to force a comeback here, that is the template as to how they might do it. Given the goal to Julian Timber rather than an own goal for the Sandro Martinez.
Yeah. He's in a great position, wasn't he, Connor? No, it's whenever you're in that sort of scenario, that's where you want to be, just trying to anticipate where the ball's going to end up and run down the line of it. And he was there.
Odegaard, Saka. Extra pace to Arsenal's attack now. Here is Nketiah. Stopped by Ahmad. This is Zubimendi. He's just leaning into Harry Maguire, and he is adjudged to have fouled the England international. He would have wanted today, Mikel Arteta. Manchester United scored first in the derby, but this is now the fourth time in the last 5 games that Manchester United have conceded the opening goal.
Yeah, I think this next phase, quarter of an hour up to half time, massive in the context of the game. United have to take that one on the chin a little bit. They've gone behind, but no need to panic. Must make sure that they deny Arsenal, they don't let this one just sneak away from them before half time.
Gabriel Jesus had returned from being in an offside position, that's why he was offside there. Is rolling all of this. We mentioned about getting that early delivery in. That's what set everything in motion.
Yeah, the more I look at that, Patrick Dorgu has the option maybe to just head out for a corner if he's not totally sure what's behind him.
Just seeing there, I mean, it doesn't. Goal kick. Bruno Fernandes is sent it wide.
Well, he's saying there's a tackle, and I'd be amazed if Bruno missed this one as badly as that. He's saying there's contact. Whether Saliba kicked it onto him, let's have a look. Just gets a little touch on it to disturb Bruno Fernandes right at the point of him about to hit it, but it's a couple of times United have got close.
You've got to say that's excellent defending from Saliba. I was just going to say that the last replay showing that it seemed to come off, he's standing here. Real sense of the goal, he's going to go down as an own goal for Manchester United defender. This is Saka. To Zubimendi. Nketiah under pressure from Ahmad. Manchester United player regains possession. So Arsenal benefiting from an own goal, just as they did recently in the FA Cup against Portsmouth. Casemiro to Diogo Dalot. It's blocked by Nketiah, and Manchester United get their first corner of the day.
Nice play, Bruno Fernandes in the middle of the park there. First time ball to Casemiro. To eventually find Diogo Dalot. Now United get a chance to work a little set play, maybe find a yard of space, see if a little block can just disturb one of those red and white shirts for a change.
So much lauded for their prowess at set pieces, but Manchester United have scored 13 Premier League goals this season from these sort of scenarios. And swinging whip on that. Luke Shaw trying to jump at the goal line. Saka miscues his clearance. He was trying to play the pass to Trossard. David Raya, that's about as nervous a moment as he's had today.
Great ball in, and then of course that contact sending the ball right up in the air, and that's awkward for the goalie with all the traffic. Trying to focus on the ball and get something on it is very difficult. Look at that. And he's flapping away there. David Raya doesn't really get much, but Arsenal just about get it away. Mistakes happen in football, others have to react. Unfortunately, not enough red shirts around that to do anything about, to prevent Bryan Mbeumo from keeping his composure, which he does really well. He's kind of leaning back there, Zubimendi, to try and go back to David Raya, but I love the way. Mbeumo was on his left foot, he could have hit it. He didn't. He decided to just wait and see what the goalie's going to do, and then just shuffle it to one side onto his right foot and straight into the unguarded net. Lovely, cool, composed finish.
So important for Manchester United that they took that chance. Second time in his Manchester United career, and Bryan Mbeumo scores in back-to-back Premier League games. And Arsenal's lead lasted just 7 minutes.
Evaporated with one mistake, and that's what happens. He doesn't make many, this guy. Hardly made a mistake like that at all, I think, since he's been at the club. But it's just happened, and he's got to push that to the back of his mind. Michael Carrick might not be looking like he's that pleased, but he'll be delighted for his team to bounce back into this game.
Sandro Martinez's own goal cancelled out. Manchester United's first attempt at of all Premier League teams, Arsenal dropped the fewest points from winning positions. Only dropped 2 points. And that Bryan Mbeumo goal, the one shot on target, it's all about making it count. As he scribbles onto his paper for Mikel Arteta with this latest change of events. Down goes Trossard, pushing back by Dalot.
So I think that's an unnecessary cheap free kick to give away, Diogo Dalot. Putting his hands on, he's not getting the ball. With all the height and all the power that Arsenal have, you don't want to concede free kicks in this area. That's unnecessary.
The referee today is Craig Dawson. Who has scored against Manchester United in each of the last 2 seasons. This is an inviting angle for Rice. after the goalkeeper setting up once who stands his ground away.
Good hands. Good, clean, safe hands. Yeah, just a fraction high, that one, from Declan Rice. But that's nice work from the goalkeeper.
Just ahead of Brian Mbeumo. Arsenal suddenly making unforced errors. Tommy Maynard. Luke Shaw. Thanks from the centre Martinez to Miguel Casemiro. Mad against Nketiah. Gratefully accepts the corner kick in the circumstances with 4 minutes to go to the break. The mood has changed in here. Goes to change the narrative of games so significantly. Suddenly Manchester United have got a hunger about them as they come forward for this set piece. Swinging from the mat. Mbeumo gives it straight to Odegaard. Manchester United short on numbers at the back. Trossard. Nketiah. He also had to get there. He built up such a head of steam and he's just wallops that too firmly. Then goes Casemiro and draws the foul for Odegaard.
Chance there for Arsenal, but yeah, that cross from Nketiah, had to go for it. Just got a little bit too much on it. Excellent play from Casemiro again there, just to take all the heat out of that by drawing that foul.
It's not a good pass, and Arsenal's defenders are making hard work of their clearances at the moment. Odegaard, that's a good pass. And here's the crowd as he fails to control it. Dorgu. To Luke Shaw.
Don't have to be in a rush now, United, to try and get it into Mbeumo's feet. Well played.
Martinez lost him off his teammate Dorgu. That was unfortunate for Manchester United. Sandro Martinez battles on, but he has fouled Bukayo Saka. Swings and roundabouts, the roller coaster ride, and we still have a full second half to go.
Well, he saw his team start very positively on the front foot, playing in the United's half of the field. Got their lead, but it went pretty quickly, and United have shown enough in possession. Mikel Arteta will know his team can't afford to take any liberties, any chances this afternoon. United, when they get the ball in nice areas, look like they can stitch a few passes together.
Brought him to score goals. Brian Mbeumo now up to 9 in his Manchester United career. He is United's top Premier League goal scorer this season. 6 of these last 11 Premier League games now. Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, just a little rushed. As it falls for Trossard.
fast, hasn't it, in the first period? It hasn't hung around at all.
Gabriel. Again, Arsenal able to wear at the back. Fernandes. Ryan Bubu. Oh, this! Such audacity, and he wasn't very far away.
No, David Raya is actually, I think, always scampering back and would probably have dealt with this. That's clever play. Good awareness that from Brian Mbeumo. Flipped ball forward from Bruno Fernandes. Just gets a little too much on it. If he'd been on his left foot, he's trying to do the same thing. He might have had a better result, but it's unlucky.
Thierry Henry is here in the stadium today. That's the sort of attempts that Henry would have attempted in the past and probably pulled off with audacity. What a story that would have been if Manchester United had taken the lead ahead of the break against the league leaders. Away by Lisandro Martinez. Disappointed to the own goal. Certainly hasn't put Lisandro Martinez off his stride.
See that with defenders nowadays, Connor. They're so intent on blocking the striker, pinning him, holding him, denying him the chance to move. They can't able to go and actually physically clear the ball.
Dalot's throw. Capier's header, and there is the whistle for half-time. So the own goal from Lisandro Martinez sets the Premier League leaders Arsenal on their way. This new styled Manchester United team under Michael Carrick have got extra backbone. The mistake by Zubimendi, polished by Brian Mbeumo, his 50th Premier League goal. It is a second half to savour to come. For now, Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1.
Tampil dominan di awal babak yang pertama, Arsenal berhasil untuk bisa mencuri gol melalui satu on goal yang diciptakan oleh Lisandro Martinez di menit ke-29. Tapi pada akhirnya Manchester United berhasil untuk bisa menyamakan kedudukan ketika satu kesalahan fatal dari Zubimendi berhasil dimanfaatkan oleh Brian Mbeumo dan menyamakan kedudukan menjadi 1-1.
Jarum Super Kretek. Ini kreteknya super.
Mau voucher belanja 25 juta setiap bulan? Langganan Shopee VIP. Nikmati gratis ongkir instan tanpa batas. Diskon 20% setiap hari. Dan dapatkan gratis 3 bulan ChatGPT Go. Langganan Shopee VIP sekarang. Setiap bulan, langganan Shopee VIP. Nikmati gratis ongkir instan tanpa batas. Diskon 20% setiap hari. Dan dapatkan gratis 3 bulan ChatGPT Go. Langganan Shopee VIP sekarang. Tanpa nikahan. Pak, ibu kita harusnya ibu-ibu. Kita cari tahu. Itu cewek mereka kemana.
Main judi buat bayar pinjol kan? Pinjol juga gara-gara judol. Itu namanya roda ekonomi kreatif yang berputar.
But now it's finished.
Ya, Anda kembali lagi bersama kami di Premier League Match Week ke-23, di mana malam hari ini kita akan melihat pertandingan di babak kedua antara Arsenal melawan Manchester United dari Emirates Stadium. Pertama kita akan kembali membahas analisis pertandingan yang sesaat lagi akan berlangsung di babak kedua. Apa kira-kira akan dilakukan oleh Eric Krama di babak kedua ini untuk menambah kembali peluang gol untuk Manchester United di pertandingan ini?
Ya, mereka harus coba bermain sabar untuk bisa memancing bola dari Arsenal keluar dan memanfaatkan situasi dan kelengahan yang akan dihadapi oleh lini pertahanan dari Arsenal, karena ada urgensi untuk Arsenal mendapatkan 3 poin di laga menghadapi Manchester United. Aston Villa, Manchester City sudah mendapatkan 3 poin, jaraknya 3-4 poin dengan Arsenal, artinya ada urgensi Arsenal untuk bisa tampil lebih ofensif. Ini harus bisa dihadapi oleh Manchester United. Mereka harus bermain sabar dan memanfaatkan situasi serangan balik untuk bisa memanfaatkan kelengahan di lini belakang yang dimiliki oleh Arsenal.
Yang ramai dari pemirsa, bisa kita lihat kedua tim telah bersiap untuk berkompetisi di babak kedua ini. Untuk itu kami mengucapkan dari studio, selamat menyaksikan.
The last 4 Premier League meetings now between Arsenal and Manchester United here at the Emirates have all been level at half-time. Mikel Arteta will probably be aware that Arsenal have gone on to win each of the previous 3. And Henry Moses in front. Arsenal were dragged back on that Brian Mbeumo goal. The 50th Premier League goal for the Cameroonian. As they begin the second half, these two teams with the identical lineups to which they started the game.
Yep, so again, Arsenal will be expected to apply the pressure and try and make the early running, but United have shown at times in that first half that when they take the ball over, they're dangerous. They look like that they take a bit of care. With that first couple of passes, they can find their way through Arsenal.
Arsenal want to end momentous as they have been for much of this season. It's days like this, moments like this that you've got to show the fibre to be worthy of being crowned a Premier League champion. Eze, who has not been used much in the Premier League lately, he did start in the Champions League in midweek. He's looking for a warm-up job there. He's warm up with a different guy. He's looking for the source of a warm coat. Controls a well in a tight area, but ultimately can't hold on to possession. Mendy sends it the wrong side of Saka. Good determination though from Bukayo Saka to get to the ball regardless. Now Dorgu wins it back.
Well played, excellent work, Patrick Dorgu there.
Piece of play there, summing up the competitive nature of what we've seen in this game so far. Coming in to Bruno Fernandes.
In that United victory against City, Connor, I thought also physically United were superior. They took their moments and got their goals at good times, etc. But physically they were too much for City to handle.
Manchester United desperate to show that that performance in the derby was not just a one-off. Looking for back-to-back Premier League wins for the first time since October. Manchester United. Saka shows too much of it to Haaland.
Gabriel Jesus unable to really make that ball stick whenever it's coming in and around him so far. That's something that he'll need to do a little bit better.
Kicking it to Manchester United. Maguire in no rush to take. Jesus, whose one Premier League goal this season came against Aston Villa recently. Gabriel. Rice. Demo gets it back for Manchester United. This is Hamad. Good turn by Dell after a bad flick. Now Lisandro Martinez. Sort of Manchester United fans will be pleased to see, representing a newfound confidence under Carrick. Arsenal very much dominated the possession early on. Manchester United trying to keep ball themselves now. Everyone by Gabriel. Again, miscued clearance on Trippier. That's happening with frequency now. Mino. Bruno Fernandes. Casemiro. Martinez. Bruno Fernandes. Still getting away, but only clearing their lines.
Unlucky. Lisandro Martinez firing that one into Bruno Fernandes, who first time wanted to just try and find Kobe Mino, couldn't do that, but again, I think Bruno can be elusive, he can be a real threat once more.
Dorgu hasn't had much possession inside the Arsenal half today, Patrick Dorgu. And he's done really well here. It's how he controlled it and then dispatched it off the crossbar. What a goal from Patrick Dorgu as Manchester United lead at the Emirates.
What a hit this is. It's great play as well between him and Bruno Fernandes. Lovely combination play. Tight areas, got to be right, it's got to be spot on. But the strike is magnificent. I'm not sure what's going on, what sort of check Connor is going on.
I still feel there might have been a handball. That's his knees,
that's his nails.
He's tucking it in. Arsenal will appeal for this.
It just brushed his hand, but it's only when he's tucked his arm back in. I mean, look, I know if he hits the hand in anything to do with the build-up, it often gets chalked off. I think this would be incredibly unlucky.
Video assistant referee today is Paul Cheney. He's had a look at that. He agrees with the on-field decision. The goal stands and Manchester United lead. And the United fans will want to watch replay after replay after replay of that one.
What a strike. Brilliant, brilliant hit. Just got it beautifully, and they're so tempting when it's on the half volley like that. But you've got to get it right, and he had power. It was fading away from David Raya right into the roof of the net. What a start to the second half for United.
It is Patrick Dorgu's third goal for Manchester United. Scored against Newcastle on Boxing Day, scored in the derby last weekend. He has scored an absolute cracker here at the Emirates. Just saying before how he hadn't seen much ball in advanced position. Well, he certainly made that opportunity count.
Of course, the temptation, Connor, sorry for Mikel Arteta now, because of that bench, because of the power of it, is to immediately think about making changes.
And expectancies, and there is no doubt that the Emirates Stadium has suddenly been engulfed in doubt. Still a long way to go. Arsenal facing a test now. Here comes Dorgu again. 3 goals in his last 6 games. Why not shoot from there?
Yeah, tight angle, but you're spot on. You just not running like he did from the sort of distance he did. Why not hit this? Hits it hard. I mean, it's not worrying David Raya at all, but United will be very dangerous every time now they run at that Arsenal back line.
2 goals from 2 shots on target for Manchester. A race here, which David Raya had anticipated. Arsenal need to stabilise and quick. Timber. Odegaard. Shaw. Off the top of Casemiro's head. He was considering getting that first pass, the way he adjusted, he couldn't get his collaboration or operation right.
That's exactly what he was thinking. He was going to hit that. Might have been better off doing so.
The Arsenal fans realising that their team needs the extra support now, and the volume switch has just been turned up a notch. We haven't played 10 minutes of the second half yet. Saliba. Saka. Trying to find that angle. Casemiro was well positioned. Manchester United can't get in the way. This is Saka again. Gabriel Jesus. Martinez. There goes for the corner. There was a little action after the ball left the field of play, from which Gabriel Jesus has remained on the deck. What happens here?
Just gets a knock on the back of the head. Gabriel Jesus, I don't think there's anything in that. I didn't need to go clattering into Gabriel Jesus, there he done it.
Is preparing multiple substitutions, starting with Eze. You can see the white thing on his shirt. Jokeris seems to be adjusting his
Everyone was on the move there.
Yes, they all could be, considering the size of the action here. But Eze would seem to certainly going to come on. Not until after this corner. From corners, Arsenal desperately need one now. Gabriel was close to that, cleared off the goal line by Mbeumo. Saka. Taking on a lad. He's just been able to hold him up. The space for Declan Rice. Straight at Luke Shaw. Casemiro. To win it back up with Fernandes. Gabriel Jesus struck it. Should have put this away. I think there was another Arsenal player and the shot came off. Arsenal ready to make their triple change. In fact, we're being told quadruple change. So this is a real signal for Mikel Arteta. Four subs at once.
As much time to have the maximum impact. Don't blame him in lots of ways. You mentioned earlier, when you got a bench like that, you'll find yourself behind in a match, you've got to do something about it.
He's not waiting around to utilise this strong bench. And one will come out full back in place of Pierre Capier, to Robbie the Julian Timber moves across to left back, and Ben White will play in his regular position on the right hand side. The attack in place of Gabriel Jesus, and it is Martin Odegaard who will be replaced by Eze. Mikel Merino, so often the producer of goals of big moments, comes on for Zubie Mendy, whose mistake led to the first Manchester United goal. Eze has seen so few Premier League minutes in recent months, Arsenal now hoping he can produce something special here.
Well, they've just brought on quality, fresh legs, experience. Very few teams are able to do that. And Mikel Arteta's got to keep his fingers crossed and hope that they can have an impact on what is left of the game.
Firmino to Patrick Dorgu. This Manchester United team, which has been misfiring for so long, suddenly appear to have their groove again. White making just his 7th Premier League appearance of the season. sentiment around the stadium now. Arsenal fans getting their own players back, wanting them to get on with it here as we approach the hour mark. Gabriel.
Sure he gets in that gully first there. Lisandro Martinez, yep, nice run from Ben White.
New targets to aim for now after the quadruple substitution.
There's two guys there that would love to get their head on something. Marino as well, he's got that knack, as you mentioned, Connor, in and around goal scoring situations.
He hasn't scored in his last 5 in the Premier League. From Casemiro in front of his own goalkeeper. Saka stopped by Bruno Fernandes. Arsenal led 1-0 and now find themselves trailing 2-1. Is it? Dorgu. Is it an important touch? Gabriel to Timber. As a correct create. It's not in need of invention. Saka, too close to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, just got a little too much on that. Nice hands again. Whenever the ball's coming to the box with this guy, he looks confident that he's going to grab it and hang on to it, which is always really good if you're a defender. You turn around, you have full confidence in your goalie.
That's going to just be a last touch off the defender there. It's going to be a Manchester United throw.
Not a surprise that since United's goal, the substitutions that Arsenal have had more than ball, but that's not a concern for Michael Carrick. I don't think the possession Arsenal have had hasn't really looked like coming to anything.
Steve Holland alongside Jonathan Woodgate there, imparting their wisdom, their advice to Michael Carrick. Here's Ahmad. Could be made it. 63 minutes of the clock now. It is 45 minutes of game time since Arsenal last had a shot on target. Bruno Fernandes. Declan Rice just landing down on the back of the ankle. Bruno Fernandes there. That is a yellow card for the Arsenal midfielder.
Yeah, Declan Rice saying there's a 50-50 ball. It wasn't that really. He's just a bit late and catches Bruno. I think the referee's right to give him the card.
Yellow of the match for Declan Rice. It's nice to see that Bruno Fernandes will take as long as he dares over this now. Every passing second is just heaping more and more pressure on Arsenal. Just too close to David Ryan. Dorgu.
Yeah, good take from David Ryan that time under pressure from Casemiro. You can hear the anxiety in the stadium now. They haven't heard it like this for a few weeks.
Anxiety is the word. Saka being held onto by Shaw there. Play on to the officials. Declan Rice is able to wrap his foot around it. They're always too high.
Yeah, difficult one this. And that sort of angle. Again, United just descending upon Declan Rice. It might have been better served just to clip it towards the far post, but that's what happens. You're naturally always trying to close things a little bit more than you usually would when you're behind.
Declan Rice, who has scored against Manchester United in each of the last 2 seasons. Dorgu. White. David Raya with a split-second hesitation, which for a moment Arsenal fans very worried. Ben White. Saka. Constant tangents from Wilshere, didn't do a fair challenge. Arsenal onto the free kick. Casemiro. Kobe Mainu. Unexpected back by Saka there. Still of sorts, can he click back into gear? No, Eze loses here.
Eze has got to try and get in behind United's midfield, behind Kobe Mainu and Casemiro, and get on the ball. He operates in front of them all the time, then he's got to produce something unbelievable to get the other side.
Suarez involved for the first time since coming on to great pass. Mikel Merino. Awkward hug for Trossard to control. He has kept it alive. Trossard's delivery. Maguire's header. Bruno flicking it up. Couple extra play. This is going to come down to desire now. Manchester United's desire to hold their lead. Arsenal's desire to equalise and perhaps surpass it as Wilshere gives Arsenal a free kick which they've taken already. Saka. Ben White. Saka wanted in return.
He just hit it too hard. That idea. Just overhit it a bit, Ben White there.
This is Arsenal's 17th home game in all competitions this season. They haven't lost here this campaign. Some fingernails being consumed as Michael Carrick makes his first change. Manchester United, one of 2 teams who are yet to score a goal from a substitute in the Premier League this season. Matheus Cunha is going to come on here to provide fresh legs in replacement of goal scorer Brian Mbeumo.
Yeah, finished that lovely, didn't he? Really good player, this guy. I think he's done well since he's come to United, I really do. And starting to see the best of Brian Mbeumo. Lovely finish that.
So on comes Matheus Cunha, who scored against Arsenal for his old team Wolves 2 seasons ago.
What he brings, Connor, is tons of blistering pace. I mean, seriously quick, Matheus Cunha. He might also drop into the midfield areas to try and pick the ball up a bit.
Around the shoulders of the attacker, and Craig Dawson gives the free kick to Arsenal.
Difficult sometimes. You have to raise your arms a little bit here and there when you're trying to challenge for the ball in the air. You can't have them by your side. Nobody does. He's a little unlucky there.
Gyökeres, who hasn't scored a Premier League goal at home since September. He will be one of the targets here for Declan set piece deliveries. He wants a corner. The officials say goal kick. All three Premier League goals this season for Mikel Merino have all been headers. And already Mike Arteta is tapping the watch. There's 20 minutes to go. He already doesn't have any time to be wasted. Referee will of course be looking at the replays in the background.
Let's have another look at this. He's trying to stay neutral.
So there's a famous incident very like that involving Martin Odegaard here at the Emirates a few seasons back. The video assistant referee agrees with the on-field decision that is deemed to be a natural position for a falling defender. No penalty. Kobe Manu. Luke Shaw. Sullivan is stepping out of touch. Storgu. Manchester United fans at the moment are giving the all A's for each completed pass. Storgu could be in again here. That's a clever flick. And alert defending for Ben White to get there ahead of Kobe Manu. Storgu was nearly in again.
Was indeed. Great ball from Casemiro to Banyo.
Space for Kobe Manu once more. Trying to pick up the run of Luke Shaw. The one that is tracked by Saka. Cunha looking to keep it alive. Still one test Cunha. Now Bruno Fernandes. Third goal for Manchester United, and Arsenal will be in very deep order. Maguire. Essa in pursuit. Need more accuracy in their passing for the final third.
It's good play from United, this. Really good. Strong spell forward. Keeping the ball with composure and confidence. Very nearly, as we said moments ago, with Dortmund getting in. Very important for Arsenal this whole chapter.
You wonder if Risley proposed Manchester United head coach Ruben Amorim is watching this game from afar. What must he think of the change of events amongst the same group of players that were really struggling under his tenure? Still plenty of time today. Is it? Timber to Trossard. Feed from Leandro Trossard. The cross to the end is much too close to the Belgian goalkeeper. Saliba. Passes his body and an invitation. Taylor's and Declan Rice and Bruno Fernandes results in an Arsenal free kick. Arsenal need a goal. There's Ronaldo scored quality at his time. Mr. Van Thierry Henry. Ian Wright looks quite agitated looking on. Just spotting himself on the big screen. Arsenal goal scorers of old, but who of the current generation can step up and seize what is becoming an increasingly important moment here? Ben White. Stopped by Lisandro Martinez. Dorgu is strong. Now Mateus Cunha. Attacking firepower. Liverpool, who hasn't scored or assisted yet for Arsenal, is not in reason. Leandro Trossard.
Looks like Manuik is going down the right side. Bukayo Saka's going to come and have a go. But Diego Dalot off the left.
Scored in the Champions League for his new club, Liverpool, but yet to score or assist in the Premier League. To put some fresh ideas on now.
Good spot from Harry Maguire there. As Noni Madueke was just gaining a bit of speed to defend him to shut that door and deal with it.
Marino. Royce. Saka. And on the left. To sales around the Emirates Stadium. High stakes. Nice turn. Decent ball. Trying to tee up a second touch for the look at a shot, but Harry Maguire gets there first.
Deal again, just overhits it, unlucky. Good one, steps inside, Ben White makes a good little movement, just overhits that one.
Well, the chasing pack will be watching on with much interest. Manchester City, who beat Wolves yesterday, Aston Villa, who won against Newcastle earlier on today. They be ending the weekend just 4 points behind Arsenal.
Lots of possession from Arsenal. We're not seeing many shots, are we, at the moment? Not really finding that spare man who can just get the ball out of his feet and hit something from the edge of the box, even further out. That's because they've just not been able to stitch those passes together, but also United have defended very well.
Last weekend to the derby, Manchester United limited Manchester City to just 1 shot on target in that game. Dalot to Amad. Manchester United fans who've seen so many false dawns in recent times won't be celebrating yet. Points against Dorgu there, became quite the tussle. Dorgu will slowly get back up to his feet. The on-field decision is to play on, but Stoppers just, watch has been held up here just while the referee checks on the condition of Patrick Dorgu.
Dorgu grabbed Ben White's arm there. He's pulled the Arsenal man, and it looks like in doing so he might hurt his hamstring a little bit as well. He immediately clutches that.
This break in play, Addy, is a perfect opportunity to just one more time look at the Patrick Dorgu goal that has electrified this second half.
Great goal, lovely build-up. A couple of little clever passes with Bruno Fernandes, gets it back, still got tons to do, surrounded by red and white shirts. But he would have known the second that left his boot, he would have thought this is going in, because he hits it so well, crashes off the bar. David Raya, we know, is a top goalie. It's gone past him before, he's hardly even got his feet off the ground.
So that could be a race run today for Patrick Dorgu. So Jim Ratcliffe and Omar Barada and Jason Wilcox. Still stern-faced despite the scoreline. They won't celebrate anything until they hear the final whistle today, but they've got to be so pleased because this appointment of Michael Carrick is one they needed to choose the right guy. And on early impressions, Andy.
Yes. I mean, what he's done so far, what he's put into the team has been really good.
But the danger St. Albans was always comfortable and that was going over the top for a goal kick. Manchester United are going to make an interesting change here to replace Dorgu. They're going to bring on Shishko.
Yeah, because Matheus Cunha can probably just shift out onto the left-hand side a bit. Or even Bruno Fernandes. Either one.
So on comes Benjamin Shishko, who has scored 3 goals in his last 2 games. Didn't feature in the derby last weekend. He'll want to show what he can do here. So Dorgu will hope that injury won't keep him out of the Fulham game next weekend. That is a Sunday match at Old Trafford.
Yeah, definitely hope for him that that's just a little twinge.
They see the pass hit Šeško's face there. So tinted out for Matheus Cunha. Šeško's really got a blow to his face there. He's still, as you can see on that side of your screen there, suffering from it. So Manchester United temporarily playing with 10. Ben White. Noni Madueke. Biding his time, inviting Luke Shaw to lunge. Corner to Arsenal. Here's what happened to Šeško.
Yeah, it's Bruno Fernandes actually just knocks it straight in his face and does catch him nastily as well. What he should have done actually is go down and with any sort of head injury, the referee will stop the game, but he stayed on his feet. And I've got to say I admire him in lots of ways for doing so, but good, it's good to continue. That's well done him.
Minutes of normal time to go. Now Saka to tip. Good kick came early. Saka again. Saliba. Saka. Tries to catch the keeper out of the near post. Clever idea from Bukayo Saka.
Great save. Nice strike as well from Bukayo Saka. It might have gone through legs. Often does this when shooting from a tight angle. Yeah, it's Casemiro that goes through those legs and that might well have been sneaking in.
Score again.
Flighted ball in that's so difficult to defend. It really is. It's right on the money this level. That is perfect. Sonny Lamans, who's been so good, there's just too much traffic in the way. So many players jostling for position. He can't get anywhere near it and it just drops from Mikel Merino. He doesn't really hit it probably as cleanly as he does, but it doesn't matter. It's good enough. It's gone over the line. Arsenal back in the game.
The corner Kings. 2 and again. An Arsenal corner. Look at this. Mikel Merino believes there's still time to go and have it.
able to get on the end of things when it arrives in the box. And, wow, it's a big moment again today.
Fifth goal of the season in all competitions since the successor Mikel Merino entering the Champions League. 4 of them now in the Premier League. Michael Carrick's lead has gone. And there are 5 minutes plus stoppages to go. Saliba. Plans to harness this new momentum shift. Not only passed to enter the penalty area, but he couldn't control it properly.
Yeah. You did have people supporting him then, not a matter of you're right. He was absolutely foot to the floor there. It's going to be some finish to this game because United, listen, they are far from incapable of going and scoring again. They've got Šeško on, they've got Cunha out there. They can make chances, make no mistake about that.
Under Ruben Amorim holding on to leads was a big problem for Manchester United. This is Manchester United 3!
Incredible. What a goal. I mean, just unbelievable stuff that from Matheus Cunha. As soon as he picks that up and turns and gets that on his right foot, he's hitting it. He's always going to be hitting this. And boy, does he hit it true and clean. And David Raya lunging, full fingertip stretch to his left, isn't getting it. Brilliant goal.
There was less than 3 minutes between Merino equalising for Arsenal and Matheus Cunha producing this strike, which has been received like a bolt by Arsenal.
Good play again from United inside areas. Really good play. What a goal. What a finish. Just a stunning hit that is. It's hit hard with that whip, with that curl on it, and it's always ending up in one place, that one, back of the net. Brilliant strike.
The reactions of the respective coaches tell a story all of its own. Manchester United, who have had 3 shots on target in this game, and all 3 of them have ended up in the back of the net. Arsenal behind again, and time is almost up. In the middle of all that, Manchester United have brought off Ahmad and brought on Mazraoui, who has recently returned from the Africa Cup of Nations. Defensive reinforcements now to see this through. They've already had a lead slip. Michael Carrick will be full of extra determination now. Presumably lengthy injury time period still to come here. Manchester United need to batten down the hatches.
Certainly do. They know it's going to come into the box now. Every chance Arsenal get, they've got to try and push and force and see if they can find a way back in it. So I think that's a wise move from Michael Carrick in terms of bringing Mazraoui on.
Showing under pressure from Matheus Cunha. What an introduction he has made. Casemiro thunders into Timber. Manchester United looking to bust these closing stages away at the league leaders. Timber. Eze. Is there to be another twist in this tale? Saka. Arsenal gets a corner.
Whether they've needed Declan Rice to produce one of his finest deliveries, it's right now. This is where Arsenal always seemingly look the most dangerous, they really do. If they get that delivery and that flight right and get the bodies around Lamans, make it difficult for him to come and get it, it's hard to deal with.
7 minutes to go. Sardines. Touchdown by Lens. First good in. Touchdown field. And that relieves a lot of pressure.
Yeah, just got his body in well there. Which he has, they didn't want to see Mateus Cunha sprint away from him, which he would have done. Happy to draw that foul as well. Really happy to exaggerate the fall, take it. Don't blame him at all for that.
As it joins Declan Rice in the referee's notebook. These Arsenal fans, I mean, it's very seldom that they see their team concede 3 at home in the Premier League. This is only the 3rd time it's, in fact, sorry, it's the 6th time it's ever happened under Mikel Arteta all the years. 6 times that they have conceded 3 at home in the league. Michael Carrick has instilled something special, something of the old Manchester United flame.
When I see Casemiro and Kobbie Mainoo, I think, why on earth did Ruben Amorim? What is it he didn't see in Kobbie Mainoo? What was it he didn't like so much? I mean, he's such a good player. And they really work well together in the middle of the park.
There will be much discussion on how Amorim's system, which was given the priority, was not getting the best out of the individuals in the squad. Manchester United about to move back up to the top 4, which could still end up being a positive season for a club that has been in such turmoil. Will Cunha's goal prove to be the winner here? 5 minutes of stoppages to play.
Free kick from Lisandro Martinez. That could be it wider. Knock it into an area wider, whereas if it goes out for a throw-in. As it is, Arsenal now back surging forward.
Still find a way. Gabriel. Declan Rice. Marino. Saliba. This is Ben White. It's blocked by Luke Shaw. Manchester United are hanging on. That's a wayward pass. Bruno Fernandes is an empty goal to aim at here, but it was all rushed. It had to be, and it's well wide of the target, but where to go?
I tell you, for him, that's a pretty reasonable situation. Because David Raya was miles out of his goal. He saw it, and just didn't execute it properly.
2 of the 3 goals that Manchester United have scored today have been from outside the penalty area. That would have certainly sealed the deal. Anywhere will do now for Harry Maguire. For Arsenal, this is where the weight arrives. It's not even the weight of expectation from others. This heavy burden rose up so many times. knowing what might slip away from them is a petrifying thought for Arsenal fans. Gets there just ahead of Gyökeres.
Yeah, that's right, he does well to just get his body across Gyökeres there to prevent the striker from maybe just getting a toe on the end of that.
7 minutes of stoppages are flying by. 2 to go. Manchester United going to win back-to-back Premier League games under Michael Carrick. Back-to-back Premier League games for the first time since October. So good at holding on to the ball in tight areas with Mateus Cunha. Free kick there, Mourinho. Manchester United need to re-establish their defensive shape. Madueke. Ben White. Saka. Madueke. Lisandro Martinez, still alive for Ben White. Gabriel's on the far post, but Dalot rises. And it's a head injury for Dalot, and the referee obliged to hold up play, and Manchester United are almost there.
That's good defending, Diogo Dalot, yeah. That's what you've got to do in the last couple of minutes when you've got a lead. The team that are top of the Premier League, you've got to defend, you've got to put everything on the line, and he does that really well there. Look, he's had a little look over his shoulder, he knows Gabriel is lurking behind him, and as soon as this ball loops up in the air, he knows he's got to put something on that, and he makes good contact. Well played.
At home for the first time this season. And a complete punctual blow. Recent performances, results have been of concern. Head in the hands for Ian Wright. Scores draws in the Premier League coming into this match today. From this vantage point will be deemed an enormous success for Arsenal right now. 7 minutes are up. Sandro Martinez in the middle. Is he in here? Referee's given the free kick anyway to Manchester United. Late drama here.
Yeah, I think it was a push in the back from Gyökeres. Just here. Here's Sandro Martinez. Yeah, Drake Paulson's in a good position to actually see that.
Who would have loved to capture a special moment late on here, given the debut campaign he's had so far. We're about to move past the 98-minute mark into the 99th minute of the game, and it is back to wins for Michael Carrick. What a pair of wins they have been! First to beat Manchester City in the derby, and now winning away at league leaders Arsenal. Last weekend, Carrick damaged Pep Guardiola's title hopes, but here he's done the same thing to stunt Mikel Arteta's progress. Carrick becomes the first Manchester United boss since Jose Mourinho to come here to the Emirates and to beat Arsenal in the league. After years of the shadows, this is a new